This is the plaintiff, Carla. She says she paid to have a Siberian husky neutered for the defendant, and the woman won't pay her. The woman gave her a phony telephone number. She tracked her down and is now suing her for the $420 she's owed. This is the defendant, Amanda Johnson. She says the plaintiff was going to adopt the Siberian husky her daughter came home with one day, but said it was illegal to do so unless the dog was neutered. The plaintiff said she would neuter the dog. She did, and now she's trying to turn around and get her to pay for it? No way. She's accused of causing a doggy dilemma.
All parties, please raise your right hand. People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Carla and Siberian Husky Rescue of Tucson, you are suing Amanda Johnson for $420 that you say she owes you and refuses to pay. Tell me how you first came in contact with Ms. Johnson.
From my Facebook page that I have a Siberian Husky Rescue of Tucson.
All right. How long have you had Siberian? Are there a lot of Siberian Huskies that need rescuing in Tucson?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. So how long have you had that rescue going?
Since 1969.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So she goes on Facebook, she sees your organization, and she contacts you and says what?
She said that her daughter brought the husky home, and then the daughter went on vacation and left the dog with her, and she couldn't keep it, and it was outside in a kennel.
Because the dog didn't get along with her dogs, correct?
Yes.
And outside in a kennel, this phone call happens in July of 2021. And how hot is it outside in July in Tucson?
100 degrees plus.
Okay. So what discussions do you have with the defendant about what to do?
I told her to send me pictures of the dog and some information, and I would advertise the dog and find it a home. But I also told her that the law is for rescues that the dog had to be neutered and up to date on all shots before I could place it. And she agreed. She said the dog had shots but was not neutered.
And then what was the discussion after that regarding neutering?
She said she was a single mother and she couldn't afford to have the dog neutered, and she agreed. I said, well, if I have it done, would you pay me? And she agreed to pay me $50 out of each paycheck if I had
fronted
it
the
done.
money so that she could get the dog a home. Okay. And
Yes.
then what happens? You advertise the dog.
I advertised the dog on my Facebook page, and a lady named Linda, who has adopted from me 4 times in the past, called me and said she was interested in the dog. And because I knew Linda, gave her Amanda's information and said, you go and call her yourself and ask her the questions.
I bet you regret that now, don't you?
Yes.
Because Ms. Johnson, according to you, you didn't adopt the dog through Ms. Carla, and therefore you don't have to honor anything you said to her, right?
Correct. And I just want to first say I respect Carla very much. She's taken a lot of dogs into her home and does great. I have a lot of animals myself. My daughter had brought the dog home and didn't tell me. I got home to this dog fighting with my other dog.
How old is your daughter?
18. She was 18 at the time.
Why did she bring a dog home without telling you? I can't even imagine my children doing that. I
told her, what are you going to do with this dog, Matney? And luckily, I have my son's, my ex-in-laws live right across the way from us. They had a kennel outside underneath a tree. They said, Matney, you can keep the dog there for a little while, but for a little while, you've got to come over, you got to feed it, you got to water it and do all these things to it. And so she agreed that she would do that.
But
And
she
of course,
didn't, did
I
she?
ended up
You
doing
did
it.
it, right?
No, she
exactly.
didn't. She didn't. And I work.
Listen,
so
as my
I
mother used to say to me all the time, my revenge is that you have 3 daughters just like you. That's what my mother would say to me.
absolutely.
I was a really good kid. I don't know why she would be so mean, but they'll
Right?
have theirs. They'll have theirs. Here's the thing. So the dog's outside. It's obviously a terrible situation. You know it is. You know how
Right.
hot it can get. And it's a husky.
Absolutely.
And so you're
Stop
panicking and you
me.
reach out to Ms. Carla. And you do make a deal with Miss Carla, don't you? That you will reimburse for the cost of the neutering.
I did $50. She said, "Can you chip into her neutering?" Can you
Okay.
chip into
Show me the text where you say she says that way.
I think it's like number 1.
Okay. Now you bring my attention, Ms. Johnson, to some text that you submitted where Ms. Carla tells you, I think I have a home for Blue. It would be a great home. They have adopted from me in the past. She's referring to Linda, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you? So it's that you would never. Linda would not have called you if Carla had not have given Linda your number. Can you bring Blue into Tucson? Can you chip into his neutering fee? So you ask her to chip in, not pay for all of it, Ms. Carla, and then she answers. This is on July 4th. That would be wonderful. I will definitely call you tomorrow. I don't have a lot of extra money being a single mom, but could definitely help with some, possibly $50. So according to her, the original agreement, the agreement is $50. Now, you think that it's to pay for all of the neutering. Why do you say that? And you actually said, Ms. Carla, that it was $50 from each paycheck. Why did you say that?
I didn't say it was $50 from each paycheck. She said that in many text messages.
Okay. Okay. So according to you, the agreement changes later to she's going to pay for the entire neutering little by little.
Yes,
So she says that in a text message to you.
many text messages.
Okay. Let's look at the text messages that you have introduced. I get paid on Friday, so I will send you $50. Then I can pay you $50 a paycheck till it's paid off. If that's okay.
I said that after she sent me the bill. I did say that.
So then why didn't you?
So because when I got the bill, I was a little suspicious of the bill, and she didn't have the neutering done yet. She told me it's going to be about this much. She hadn't.
Well, the neutering got done, right? You know
it did get done.
Okay,
So
and so the neutering got done, and Blue had a lot of problems, right, Miss Carla?
The dog had no house training. It peed all over her house. It wasn't getting along with her other dogs. It was matted and filthy.
So does Linda still have Blue?
Yes.
But she's
Yes, she
having
has
challenges still?
Yes.
So you suspected that Ms. Johnson's daughter didn't just find the dog. You suspected there was more to it, and you felt like you weren't being dealt with honestly, correct?
Yes.
Because actually what happens is that you accidentally sent to Ms. Johnston a text that you meant to send to Linda. And in the text, you say, nobody took care of him. He was just left to fend for himself. All they did was put out some food and water, if that. For some reason, she doesn't want us to talk to the daughter, so she is trying to get some information. The daughter must have lied to her. Getting information from them is like pulling teeth. I don't think you meant to send her that because you're talking about her and her daughter. And then she gets a little angry and she texts you, for some reason, you sent me the text that you sent someone else talking crap about my daughter and I. And I will not put up with the rude text message on a dog I was just trying to help. So is this when I'll pay you $50 with every paycheck until we're done, all of a sudden become, I'm not going to pay you squat?
Yes. No, actually, she showed up at my work.
Well, that was later. That's after you ghosted her. Wait a second. She's still No. She shows up at your work because you stop answering her calls and texts. So here's the thing. You drive Ms. Carla, because I love this part. Ms. Carla, you drive over to where she works, because you know she works in Benson. And what do you do?
Well, I waited to talk to her I was there for over 2 hours, and that was it until she came out and talked to me.
And when she talked to you, what did she say to you?
She gave me a piece of paper with a different phone number on it, and when I tried that phone number later on, a man answered the phone and said it wasn't her phone.
Whose number did you give her?
It was my house phone. My phone fell. I had
Okay,
really
Ms.
did. It
Johnson,
fell and
tell me
cracked.
why, if at a minimum you promised $50 and at a maximum, according to your own texts, you promised to pay off the entire neutering cost. Tell me why you haven't paid a penny.
When I went to talk to her, the last I had heard from her, I got a note in the mail saying I was being sued.
No, but
quick.
stop. You're being sued now, months later. But all those other times when she kept, let's look at what Linda says. Let's see what Linda says. Because you say, I didn't deal with her. I didn't do it through her, so I don't have to abide by any of that agreement because I adopted the dog directly through Linda. Let's see what Linda says about that. I received a message through Carla's Facebook feed about Blue, that he had been dumped and was in a bad situation. I called her. She said she'd been talking to the mother of the girl who brought him home. That's Amanda Johnson. I said, I might be interested in the dog, but only after he's neutered. So Linda seems to think that you did go through Carla. The text seemed to indicate, that you have promised all the way around, including way after Linda takes over and takes the problem out of your hands that has now become Linda's problem. You're still promising that you're going to pay, and you're promising you're going to pay the whole thing. So I'm going to order you most definitely to pay the neutering costs of $170. But you're also suing for two things: a rehoming fee, which no one ever agreed to pay for because you only get what it is that was promised to you. And then the gas to Benson is really my favorite part of this story. The trip to Benson is my favorite part. The fact that you're suing for the gas to Benson is awesome, but that's also not compensable. That's a choice that you made to go ahead and go to Benson, which I applaud. I think it's great, but because you will not be denied, and I love that. But you, Ms. Johnson, I do kind of agree with Ms. Carla that you ought to be a little bit ashamed of yourself. I understand that your daughter did it to you, but I kind of see where she gets it because you're doing it to her. Yes, at the beginning, you may have said chip in. But yes, as we all know, when the rubber hit the road and the desperation was setting in and things had to happen quickly, you agreed to pay for the neutering. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $170 plus prejudgment statutory interest since the time you were supposed to pay it in July, plus her court costs. Good luck, folks.
So the plaintiff does indeed prevail for the neutering costs, the $170 plus court costs, etc. Ms. Johnson, the judge thinks you should be embarrassed over yourself. What do you think?
Well, it was more or less when she came and sat at my work. What she forgot to say is when they asked her to leave, she just said she wasn't going to leave. So after that, I felt like I shouldn't have to pay her because that's harassment.
Well, you're totally wrong. It has nothing to do with this issue. Nothing to do with it. You promised to pay it.
Right,
and
exactly.
The judge says you got to pay it. So you do have to pay it. Okay. All right. Ms. Carla, you went to great lengths to get this money back. Has it been worth it to you?
Yes, it is. And I'm very happy that I'm getting the $170.
All right. Good luck. And listen, continue working for this organization. The rescue organization is over 50 years old, and you're still involved, still helping out.
I own the organization. I'm the president of it, and I've been doing this work in Alaska and in Tucson for 55 years.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Congratulations, and keep it going.
Doug, we've talked about this before. Text messages are critical in disputes like this. Send a text stating your position. At least it shows that in the throes of the dispute, here's what you felt, here's what you believed, and it will help you when you're in court.
Why do judges wear black?
Judges wear black robes in the courtroom. We all know that now.
Because it's slimming.
It's very flattering.
It's flattering.
But supposedly it's because John Marshall, who was the 4th Supreme Court Chief Justice, wore a black robe to his investiture, that it kind of became a big tradition.
Well, what color were people wearing before?
They wore all different colors.
Oh, really?
Blue ones, scarlet. In England, where we borrowed everything from, they wear ermine, anything, any kind of colors. And the whole idea is there's this sameness and blandness about the outfit as well, as if you're supposed to like check your personality and your personal opinions at the door, like you do, right?
It's a
Remember when you did have to bite your tongue? Remember when you did have to bite your tongue when you were on the bench?
Yeah, I never really did that well.
You weren't that good at that?
No, I wasn't good at biting my
Oh,
tongue.
I can't imagine why not.